Don't ever stop dating your wife. Watch this video and I'm going to tell you why. So you might have heard it said, what you did in the beginning of the relationship is what you do to keep her over time. But a lot of people don't heed that advice because, you get into your normal grind and you're trying to pay bills, you're trying to take care of the kids. There's all these responsibilities that have to happen. Okay. And it kind of side skirts this idea of spending extra money and going out on dates when, at the end of the day, you've got greater survival concerns. So it's really easy to not justify date planning. But you have to think about the mechanics of attraction here. When you first came together, you and your wife, okay, you were going out. You were spending one-on-one time together and you were going out on adventures because you knew you weren't going to impress this chick. You weren't going to get this chick if you didn't put effort into it, right? Nobody just falls into unless it's like super mediocre, right? But nobody just falls into an effortless dynamic. Probably cleaned your house. You probably got reservations somewhere. Maybe you went axe throwing after, and you did this consecutively until you started to become comfortable with each other. And over time, people drop the ball. So ideally, you'd be going out, once a week with your wife. And if you have kids, it's not going to be that frequent. For example, my wife and I, we go out every other weekend. Sometimes it's even less frequent than that, depending on what's going on. But ideally, every other weekend, when we don't have as much custody as we would on the off weekends, we're going out. But back to the mechanics of attraction. If you think back in your relationship, there was never a greater time of attraction between when you and your wife were, first dating each other on the very first date, because you were complete strangers. So what does this tell us? Essentially that having a sense of mystery about another person is something that feeds into attraction. And maybe you've been married for decades and you know this person inside and out, okay? But how can you create a sense of mystery? Well, one way would be to take on a new hobby or take a new fitness interest or do something new, right? Even if it's just watching a new genre of movies. Also, by texting less throughout the day, if you're focused on your mission, okay, and you're not, talking about every little trivial, mundane thing with your wife throughout the day, that's going to create a sense of longing because she's got a little bit less access to you. Likewise, if you have hobbies and you have friends and you're spending time outside of the house engaged in whatever it is that you're doing, okay, again, it's feeding into that sense of mystery. When you foster that sense of mystery combined with, weekly or bi-weekly date nights, and you're going out on these adventures, those are the conditions under which you got together in the first place. And then from there, it's all about the tone that you're taking with her. It's about the way that you're pitching things to her. It's about this experience of your dynamic that you are creating, you as the man are creating for your wife to experience. And if you want help recreating this attraction in your relationship, click on my profile.